Hey guys, I'm Kent and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a quick installation video on the Kamimoto frame sliders for the 2022 and 2023 Honda Grom. The kit is a pretty straightforward installation. I've run similar kits on my bike previously. I'll say that the design of this is familiar and I'll leave it at that. But let me go ahead and get this quickly unboxed and onto the bike. They actually sent me two kits. They come with some different colors. One has black end caps, the other has red end caps. So I'll go ahead and show you the difference in those as well. But let me show you what comes in the box and we'll get this installed on my 22 Honda Grom. The kit comes in a pretty nondescript brown box. Inside you'll find detailed installation instructions, a whole bunch of bolts and standoffs. There's a replacement main engine bolt where the kit mounts to. I actually like that this kit mounts to the main engine bolt and then has another supporting rod instead of trying to mount to the head of the engine. That always seems like a dangerous thing, that if you do have a crash and it puts too much and breaks the actual head of the engine, that's a lot worse than having some scratched fairings. So the, again, familiar mounting system of this works out well in those cases. Here's a couple of pucks. It looks like hopefully a Delrin material, and the left and right pieces that support the kit on the engine mounting bolt, and then for the front rod that actually holds the pucks. And then real quick, here are the red anodized covers that go on the end of the pucks, and here are the black ones. You can purchase a kit that comes with one or the other. Again, they sent me two kits, so I just wanted to show you both of them side by side. The machining of these side pieces look really nice. There's a chamfer on the edge of the piece, and it's got these raised pieces with the aluminum exposed on the edges. Anyway, they look really nice. The installation process though is going to be mounting these brackets somewhere like this, where the new engine bolt with the spacers will go through that side, and then there'll be another tube that holds the pucks on this side, and that's really it. So there's three M6 bolts that have an M8 socket required to remove these three, and then your main engine bolt. You don't have to worry about taking out this engine bolt and the engine pivoting, because there's actually three engine bolts that hold the 22 Grom motor. So this top one you can just pull out and everything will stay in place. It should actually also be pretty easy to remove, since the rest of the bolts should keep everything centered. So I'm going to back out these three bolts and the engine bolt, and then we're going to get the side piece on this side with the correct spacers, do the same on the other side, and that should be the extent of the installation. So starting first on the left side of the bike, I have those three M6 bolts out, as well as the engine bolt, and these assembly bags come with left and right indicators. So starting on the left side, there are 4 standoffs and bolts that we'll be using. So following the instructions, it's just a matter of assembling everything in order. This main bolt goes through here with the largest spacer, and that'll be going through the main engine bolt hole. And then the longer bolt goes through the next hole with the third to longest spacer. And I'm just going to start moving these a little bit. No need to tighten them yet. Then these 2 remaining spacers are the same size as are the 2 remaining bolts for the left side of the bike. So it goes bolt, spacer, for both of these. And I'm just going to lightly tighten them, hand tighten them for now. Then here on the right side of the bike, we use the bag with the R on it. The spacer with the biggest inner diameter goes over the engine bolt. And then I'll start to get the bracket here. The smaller spacer goes in the middle here, and the bolt goes through. And then the slightly longer spacer goes in this hole in the front. And again, just hand tighten for now. We'll take these down to 9 foot-pounds when we're doing the final torquing. While we're on the side, I'll also start this nut. This nut doesn't have a nylon locking ring to it, so be sure to, I'm going to put some blue Loctite on that. So the final assembly is installing the slider pucks into the kit. On the left side of the bike, you use the shorter bolt it goes washer, and then there's this little bushing that'll sit on the inside of the puck. And then on the left side of the bike, you use the smaller spacer. So it sets up like this, and the wider end goes into the puck and into the kit on this side. And then you use this aluminum crossbar that goes in between the two halves. Get it started by hand there, and then you use a 13 millimeter socket to tighten it down. So again, I'm just going to do hand tight for now. The right side of the bike using the slightly longer aluminum extension and longer bolt. And so that's it. Again, I'm going to torque down these M6 bolts to 9 foot-pounds. This rear engine bolt I'm going to torque down to 25 foot-pounds. This bolt that goes into the aluminum tube, I'm just going to torque it down to 18 foot-pounds since it's going into aluminum here. And then let me get the side pieces in, and this should be buttoned up. These little caps just snap in. And that is it. Let me take you around it so that you can see. Again, I really like the way that those side panels look. The red piece there at the end looks good. You know, you could also run it without it if you didn't want to have anything on the end. It also comes in other colors. Again, I have the black one as well. Show you kind of the profile of how far they stick out from the bike. So thank you again to Kemimoto for letting me try out another one of their products. I think this frame slider kit looks really good. Again, the end caps come in different colors. The red looks really good on my setup here. Frame sliders add that great assurance that if you do drop your bike, particularly if you have nice graphics or exhaust systems, that it'll add at least some level of protection in not damaging those parts. But again, a really clean looking solution, and appreciate Kemimoto for letting me try it out. So thank you everybody very much for watching. I do have more videos yet to come on this bike. I have a cool seat solution. It's actually maybe in the mail here today. So anyway, thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and keep on building.